When did your dad's happiness come at the cost of your own? I was getting ready for my boyfriend's and I's anniversary when he suddenly texted saying he needed time to work on himself. I sighed. He was the third boyfriend in the last year who had broken up with me on our 3-month anniversary. My roommate found me sitting on my bed hitting a vape. Let me guess, Jack just ended it? I nodded, showing her my phone. Blocked on Instagram, WhatsApp, everything. Maybe you're cursed, she joked, but I didn't laugh. And when I told my dad, he seemed weirdly relieved, just like he had with the others. When I started going out with Igor, my fourth boyfriend, I made sure to journal about every little thing we did together. I forced myself to have an avoidant attachment style and let him chase me. And on our 3-month, it happened again. I need to work on myself. Blocked everywhere. He transferred schools the next week. For BF number 5, I went extreme and changed my entire look. Dyed my brown hair blonde, bought a whole new wardrobe, even changed my makeup style thinking maybe I was clapped. We were halfway through our 3-month anniversary picnic when he looked down at his phone and his face went white. I need to work on myself. You aren't the one for me, he said, like it was recited. By Monday, his friends were literally crossing the street to avoid me. One of them looked genuinely scared when he saw me, muttering something about not wanting trouble. I took a deep breath and tried to convince myself it was a coincidence. A year later, when I was finally ready to date again, I decided not to sleep with him at all and didn't even introduce him to my family or friends. I went for the whole mysterious girl thing and kept everything surface level. 3 months hit and he sent the text while we were supposed to be at the movies. I need to work on myself. Sorry. He was gone from campus within 3 days. When I cried to my mom about it, she just patted my shoulder and said, the right one will come along when it's time. There I was, age 26 on a date with boyfriend number 9 when I saw Connor, my very first boyfriend, walk in. When he saw me with Marek, his face drained of color like he was heartbroken. He started to slowly walk over. I really did love you, he said quietly, not even looking at Marek. Then why did you leave? I asked. I'd wanted to ask this question for years. He started to answer. It wasn't me, your dad. He then stopped completely, his face going white and practically ran out of the shop. Marek asked who that was, and I just shrugged, not wanting him to think I was hung up on the past. But after Marek broke up with me, I tried to delve deeper. I got a therapist and begged her to tell me whether or not I had daddy issues, but she promised I was perfectly healthy. When I finally met Ash, I didn't even want to date him, but he was persistent and sweet. He showed up at places I'd be, always knowing my schedule somehow. On our 3-month anniversary when he looked down at his phone, I was ready for the script. Let me guess, you need to work on yourself. Hey, he interrupted, not listening to me. Look at this funny video of a dog purring like a cat. I breathed a sigh of relief. The rest of the month came and went. Month 4 passed, then 5. My parents kept asking about him, more interested than they'd ever been in any boyfriend. So by month 6, I felt safe enough to send a photo of him to the family group chat. Everyone responded super happy for me. And my dad just said, glad you finally came to your senses. The next week it was dad's birthday, just immediate family, and they insisted I bring him. But halfway through, mom did something unforgivable. She tried to embarrass me with old baby photos, but I noticed something. In every single photo, Christmas, Easter, every birthday party, there was the same little boy next to me. Oh my gosh, I laughed, looking closer. He looks exactly like Ash. That's so weird. Dad smiled this strange smile. Well, it makes sense. That's the boy we've wanted you with all along. Mom added, finally, the plan worked. The entire room went cold. What plan? I asked, voice shaking. They looked at each other. Dad cleared his throat. Your mother and I planned this relationship with Uncle Aman and Aunt Priya when you were babies. My stomach dropped. Uncle Aman? Why would Uncle Aman care who I date? Dad flipped to a page labeled future couple in gold letters. Dozens of photos of me and that little boy at every holiday, every family vacation. That's Ash, I whispered. Of course, it's Aman and Anya's son, your cousin, Dad said simply. The room started spinning. You two have been promised since birth. It's important to keep the business in the family, just like our parents did. I looked at Ash sitting next to me. He just sat there, completely nonchalant. You knew? For about a month now, he admitted, but we're barely related, and it's completely legal in this state. I'd already fallen for you by then. Dad nodded like this was all perfectly normal. Your mother and I are second cousins too. It's how we keep the family business protected. I just smiled. Not because I wasn't disgusted, I absolutely was, but because I had an ace up my sleeve, and I was ready to make them pay. Full story on channel, link below.